said, can you explain this to me in Elmo language? Now, some of you may be saying, what the heck is a distributable cash flow, if I can get it out? This is a really important term, the distribution of cash from any business operations. Now, partnerships can have DCF, or distributable cash flow, and they can also have dividends. Now, dividends are actually taxable to the partner. Remember, the partner, that's synonymous with the shareholder. The DCF is actually a return of principal. Now, let me explain to you in a very, very simplified example. Now, I'm not trying to, dumb it down here. I'm just trying to basically not get sued for offering you tax information, because this is very simple from my standpoint. I had one lady that came to me and said, can you explain this to me in Elmo language? Well, okay, this is in Elmo language, friends. This is for me, and this is my friend that needs to have a basic understanding. Let me give you an example of that DCF, the distributable cash flow. If you make a $100,000 investment into a limited partnership, and let's say that partnership had a $10,000 distribution, it's possible the way that distribution that's being paid out to you as the partner, the shareholder, that $10,000, let's say, as an example, not for real, example, that $10,000 is broken down into two different parts: the DCF, or the distributable cash flow, and the dividends. In this example, let's say that 80% of that distribution was the DCF. That is a return of capital to you, the unit holder, the shareholder. The $2,000 is going to be a dividend. So what that means is that dividend is taxable. The DCF, the $8,000 DCF, is a return of principal. So what's that mean to you? What happens now is you have, let's say that $100,000, it didn't change in value. This is hypothetical, okay? So let's say that $100,000 now is worth $108,000. So your capital gain would be, that is, if you sold it, you would pay the difference between $108,000 and the $100,000. Now you got that, actually, that distribution, you could reinvest it, you could spend it, you could do whatever you want to with it, but you weren't taxed on it yet directly. It's considered a capital gain under current tax laws. So that capital gain now increases your distributable share to $108,000. So the tax gain is going to be $8,000 that you would declare on a K-1 form that you would fill out when you do your income taxes. Now, I'm not going to get into the weeds and talk about taxes a whole lot today, but if you use TurboTax or any type of software, it'll take care of that for you. This is a really simple thing to do. You can even fill the form out yourself if you do your taxes by hand, but you probably don't. You probably use someone to do it, or you use the tax software. So it's really simple. But here's the benefit. That $10,000 distribution, $2,000 was taxable, $8,000 wasn't. Now, here's a really interesting thing that's going to happen. When you die, you get your estate to your heirs gets what's called a step up in basis. So that means that there is no income tax. Now, that's under current tax law. Congress and the White House wants to change that, but so far it's not. We're not going to get into that. But it's a step up in basis. There's no income taxes on it. So it's possible that if you keep this forever and you just keep taking the distributions from it, then there's going to be no income taxes that's payable on. Okay, that's our short lesson today.